don't know what's going on. Good evening, everyone, and welcome again. Welcome to Full to Mine. Where's Steve? He's gone. He has a habit of doing this, mate, doesn't he?
Yeah.
If it ain't you at the start, it's him in the middle. It's probably because he can't hear me. That's what happens. He has to go out and come back. There he is. Let's bring him back in. Camera's off. Good stuff.
Yeah, sometimes I can hear you after that. Other times I can't. And today,
Yeah, look. Called it.
What'd you say?
Anyway, good evening. Welcome to Forge from Iron, Extra Time, and the West Ham channel. We are live across both. Obviously, you know the three of us. And we're here to do the flagship show. Never said anything else. Well, it was easier said than done. And we're going to discuss, obviously, Saturday's game, as I put in the little blurb. I do want to cover a little bit of negativity around the club and around some things that are going on at the minute. And then I want to cover anything that you guys want to bring up. We do have to be fairly sharpish because the two lovely gentlemen that are sharing the screen with me today do have some important things to attend to. So we will keep it relatively brief. We have Eastside in the chat. Good evening, sir. We have Becca. Good evening. And also in there is Sharky. Cat Orange whistling, apparently. I'm going to say that's an emoji we can't see.
Yep.
Remember, we are broadcasting live across both channels, guys. So please, if you have not subscribed to one, please jump across and do so. And then also, make sure to remember to like the streams on both channels. Andy, how are you this evening, sir?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad. I chatted to you this morning, but for anyone who didn't know, I've had a busy weekend. I was at a gig on Friday night, seeing Expose. Anyone in Essex, definitely recommend going to see them. They play all over, covering some really good like bands. A bit of Foo Fighters, Linkin Park, and then they done like a bit of a melody where they mixed a bit of 80s, like Luther Vandross with Eminem, and you never think them two would mix together. But it definitely did. So, and then on Saturday I was at Clockwork Orange at Coco's in Camden, which obviously got burnt down a few years ago. So they've still kept the same like structure inside, like still an old-fashioned like music, like theatre. But obviously, all the music was good, and Bowen's on Fire come on as well. If anyone who didn't see that on Twitter, there was a few West Ham fans in there. We started chanting that as well when that come on, that song.
Excellent.
Oh, sounds like you've had a busy weekend, my man.
Yeah, definitely.
Steve, how are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just recovering from a stinking cold, so I had a very quiet weekend compared to Andy.
Well, you chatted me up, didn't you? You gave me a holler on Saturday.
Yeah.
I wanted your tickets. Unfortunately, I'd already made other plans. Otherwise, I probably would have taken you up on the offer.
Yeah.
I have to say. Myself on Friday, I was at the Brentwood Club, the sports whatever it is. They had the Palo de Canio night. E13 had the Palo de Canio night hosted by Tony Cotti. It was a fantastic night. I could have listened to Paolo for at least another 3 or 4 hours. He was just absolutely fantastic. For anyone who went, they'll know about the impression that he did of Harry Redknapp, which was I felt quite spot on. And it was just a really good night. And then, Saturday, as I say, I had other plans and couldn't attend the game. But I've seen the highlights, and we're gonna jump straight in. Obviously, Andy, I know you didn't see the game. Did you see any of the highlights?
I watched Match of the Day.
That's highlights. That works for me.
Yeah.
Talk to me through how you felt.
Oh.
I'm gonna actually go on a rant. I'm fucking fucked off. Like, to be honest.
Go on.
anyone would think we've just been relegated. We've lost our first game of the season. Moyes ball. But so if we played that way, 1-2-1, if Zuma scored that and Edison, or we drew 2-2, would people still be saying this shit? No.
Yeah, see, this is the negativity that I was
Yeah.
Yeah.
at the top of the show. This is the negativity. There are, I mean, listen, there are a dozen or so of us YouTube channels around, and the negativity from a couple of them is driving me crazy. I listen. We've just come up against the team, and listen, I'm gonna make a comment here, boys, and I don't want either of you to jump down my throat. Andy, you probably won't remember it. Steve, I think, was in his teenage years when I'm going to talk about what I'm talking about. But we've just played, honestly, in my opinion, the best team ever assembled. Right?
Yeah,
and I
agree.
will go as far to say, and I did say it. I said it in a group chat yesterday, in fact. This side would probably beat the 60s and 70s Brazil World Cup squads, right? I'm convinced of that. And then it was thrown back at me of the Ipswich side under Robson and the Forest side that won the European Cup and Man U's treble winning side. And I was like, so you're telling me that the Ipswich side managed by Bobby Robson was better than the World Cup winning side? You know, Garincha, Pella. Anyway, I can't be dealing with people like that. But it's just my opinion that we've just come up against the best side I think ever assembled. And okay, we lost 3-1, and we lost 3-1 because we kind of went looking for a 2-2 equaliser. I don't think we would have conceded the third if we hadn't have gone looking. Do you know what I mean? So all of these people that are out there giving stick to Moyes and singling out players like Agard for the goal, singling out Areola for the goal. I'm just like, can we not enjoy the first 4 games of the season that everyone thought we were going to struggle? Can we not just enjoy beating Brighton for the first time in the Premier League? It's a game that people didn't think we were going to get anything out of. I don't understand the need and the desire for people to go after Moyes.
No, I don't either. I mean, in my opinion, we have played the best side in the world. You put that team in the World Cup, they win it for me.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, there was a comment discussion I was having with James. I think they are the best. They're undoubtedly the best club side in the world. And at half time, we were beating them.
Yep.
I mean, let's get some perspective here. We were 1 up. Were we lucky? Yeah. Did we ride our luck? But City are a world-class side. You know, the best result anybody's got against them so far this season is a defeat.
Yeah.
What do you want? You know, we are West Ham. We are not. We're just not in the same league as City. They're the best club and the best manager in the world. And we made a damn good account of ourselves. And there were times in that second half, for about 10, 15 minutes, we took them on toe for toe and we had them pinned back. Well, I tell you what, if we got something out of the game, it would have been completely unexpected. And we lost 3-1. It's no disgrace losing 3-1 to City. They're going to romp the league again this season. I don't think that's good.
So, yeah.
I don't think it's good for the English game. You know, they'll have won 5 out of the last 6. But what do? There are a lot of teams who are going to come up against City and be absolutely pasted. We didn't do badly at all. The thing that turned it for us was when Alvarez went off. That's when we started to really struggle.
Bye, Steve. Oh no, bye, Andy.
I didn't know I'm still here.
I don't think you agree with you.
I don't think there's any disgrace whatsoever in that result. I think we gave it the best we could, and we were, we just came against a massively superior side.
I mean, Eamon says there, I was at the West Ham game against City, and although we lost, I enjoyed it because up until their third goal, we were in it. And, again, I completely agree. I mean, I don't think we played badly. And what I will say is, I've seen a lot of criticism in the last 24 hours for Vladimir Coufal. Jesus, I mean, if you're going to criticise him, I actually think he had Doku's number in the first half. I really did. I think second half, Doku came out and showed exactly what he's capable of. But I think, any team, I agree with you, Steve, any team that they come up against this season is going to give them a run for their money.
I mean,
Doku says their players are like the monsters out of Space Jam. Yeah, they're out of this world. Agreed.
I mean, Doku was absolutely brilliant. A young lad, loads of pace. There are very few right backs who are going to cope with him, I tell you. Very few. So to single Coufal out, it's a bit harsh. Coufal is a good Premier League player. Doku's performance was world class. And there was a gap in ability. And there will be a gap in ability between Doku and loads of right backs.
Mate, I can't disagree. On each side even says there, no negativity from him. We showed fight against City, and that's all we can ask for. City are just a class above. Andy, agree with that?
Yeah, they are, mate. Yeah, they are. Sorry, I've had no internet issues all day, and now all of a sudden it just keeps dropping off. Yeah, no, they are. Obviously, we were linked with him. Obviously, if Man City, if you had to choose out of both of them, I think you would pick that. I'm glad we gave him a game. Normally we get.
Yeah.
I know our home records normally it's quite decent against them. It's normally away from home. But if we play like what we did against Liverpool, we've got a chance of beating them.
Yeah, agreed.
So I'm taking a lot of positives from it.
All I can say is I was saying to James during the game, because I used to be a decent golfer, sort of second division county. But I would say off 7-8 handicap. And I used to play with a mate of mine who was off scratch. And once every 20 games, I might beat him. But I would have to get lucky and he'd have to be off his game.
Yeah.
And that's the only way I could. And that's the same sort of gap you've got. If not bigger. We're a good side, but we're not at that level. And you've got to get your head around that. That's just the way it is.
And until we get investment with new owners or whatever, that's not going to change. I mean, they have too much money to be able to worry about little old us, if you want. Do you know what I mean?
And I read a comment by one Man City fan. He said, outside of Spurs, because Spurs, for some reason, always beat them at White Hart Lane. But he said, outside of Spurs, you're our hardest game of the season. And I thought that was actually quite complimentary, considering they play Liverpool, Chelsea, Newcastle, all those. He said, no, you are a really tough game.
And it's strange to be everyone's talking about. Have you seen this today on Twitter, Andy? Steve, you wouldn't have. But no. This thing about field tilt, Andy, have you seen this new turn of phrase? The field tilt?
No.
Basically, what some lunatic, it's all I've got for you, boys, lunatic, has gone and done is they've decided so possession clearly doesn't matter at the moment. And what they've done is they've now decided to go with field tilt is the possession you have in the final third of your opponent's pitch of your total possession.
Right. Okay.
I don't know why they felt the need to do it. And honestly, as even Sharky's just said, field tilt sounds a bit iffy. Yeah. If I heard someone sat in my pub, I'm likely to throw a chair at the back of their head or something. It's just not.
Subtle.
I don't get it. It's something that's been made up for no reason. You know, apparently our field tilt against City was 14%,
Yeah.
and our field tilt against Brighton was 15%. Well, I'd hate to remind you, but
we beat Brighton.
We beat them 3-1. I don't think it matters. 4-1. I don't think it matters. I think you just need to. For me, you have to forget stats as in possession when you're watching or even supporting or even playing for West Ham, because it's not going to matter. It's what we do when we have the ball and break away.
The other thing people are conveniently overlooking is we had more possession of the ball against City than we did against Brighton. But of course that doesn't count for anything, does it?
No, because City were obviously playing with us. I've heard all the arguments today.
No,
I've heard all the arguments that they were playing with us, and if they wanted to, they could have absolutely played us. It could have been an embarrassing scoreline. Well, yeah, it could have been, but Areola was again fantastic for me. Okay, bit of an issue with a goal, but it could have been 10. Haaland shooting boots off the line, Areola saves. It could have been 10. So come on now, behave. I stop being aimed at a select group. Please stop being so fucking negative, and let's just. We're back in Europe on Thursday against Topola of Serbia. I think they're top of their league. I don't think they've lost this season. I think they're unbeaten. So what we considered, including myself, to be the easier of the three games.
There won't be any easy games.
No, but I consider it to be the easier of the three. But obviously they're unbeaten in their league, so good evening, Wolf. So they're gonna, we're gonna have to turn up. We are gonna have to turn up, and I don't think we can take it for granted.
Oh, absolutely not. It's not like the conference was.
No, not at all.
But having said that, I'd be quite happy for us to come third and drop down into the conference. And win that again.
Basically, Seville our way to another trophy is what you're saying.
Absolutely. I'm all for trophies. I don't care if it's the conference. That's very nice. Look, West Ham defend the Conference League, first team to do it.
You're never going to argue, are you? It'd be lovely.
No, not at all.
And it'd be another trophy in the cabinet.
Yeah, which would then be 2 more than Spurs have, which is very important.
It's the only important stat. Andy, anything you want to discuss, my man? I know you boys have got things to do, so I'm conscious of timings and stuff.
No, not really, mate. To be honest, I've sort of said my my rant earlier. It's like you said, it's just frustrating the fact that we're getting into this situation where it's been a great start and everyone's just jumping on one game, and like we've got Sheffield United and Villa coming up. That's the ones. If we get the results out of that, we'll forget about the Man City game.
Look, we've got 10 points after 5 games. We could have got 15 points maximum. We've got 66% of the points on offer. We do that all season. We qualify for the Champions League.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah. So let's get some perspective here. I mean, going to Liverpool, do I expect us to get anything? We should do, but a number of times we go up there, play damn well against Liverpool and come out on the losing end. It's just sickening.
It's painful, isn't it?
It is. But Moyes has lost one game.
You're going to Liverpool, Andy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that'd be good.
Bastard. Have we got anywhere to sit when considering they're fucking around with their stadium?
I think we're all right, actually.
All right, let's put this to you then. The next five games, boys, in the league. How many wins do you want to see out of the next 5?
Who are the next?
The next 5 in the league are Liverpool, Sheffield United, Newcastle, Villa, and Everton.
Oh,
9.
yeah. If we get 9 points out of that, I'd be very happy.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be happy with. So we're looking at Liverpool, Sheffield United, Newcastle, Villa, Everton.
We always do well at Villa.
Yeah.
You're saying 8. You're saying 9. I'm going to say 10 points out of that. I would say 10. What we got here? Billy Bob has done what I asked. He's gently caressed that like button. Thank you. It's much appreciated. Sharky says he's going to go for 10. I've said 10, and you boys have said 9.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
that if we get 9 or 10 points, that's 19 or 20 points from the opening 10 games. That's brilliant.
I mean,
know?
those games are interspersed. So obviously we have Baka Topola on Thursday night in the Europa League match day 1. We then face Lincoln City away Wednesday the 27th. That's in the third round. Then we got Sheffield United. Then we have our second Europa League tie against Freiburg.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe the fans are banned for that one.
So why
Yeah.
is it? Yeah.
And then we have Newcastle. Then we have, is that another European break, boys? There's 14 days, 2 weeks between those 2 games.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
it's an international break. Yeah.
Newcastle, Villa, fuck mine, right? And then we go Olympiacos away before we face. It'd be Olympiacos away before we face Everton. So I mean, out of those, I think 10 points out of the league. So that's the 3 wins and a draw. I think a victory against Lincoln should be expected. Is that arrogant of me? But I think it should. And then you've got Everton, Villa, and Sheffield United should be the wins. And then anything we can pick up really against.
Yeah, our downfall last season was obviously after the European games.
Yeah.
Like, we just didn't turn up. But
We've got a bigger squad.
Yeah, exactly. That's
We've got a better squad as well. I know, and Liverpool are obviously playing away on Thursday night as well. So we're at home Thursday. They're away Thursday. Yeah, thanks, Sharky. They're where are they? Who have they got? They're playing LASK. So they're travelling out.
Russia, isn't it? Or that be
Ukraine?
No.
Austria. So they're travelling out to Austria for their game. Couple of more bits then, boys, before we knock it. Apparently, I want to know about your feelings, Andy. I'll come to you first. We've allegedly opened talks with Mikel Antonio to extend his contract. Where do you sit on that one?
I just want to bring something up first. It's the West Ham Way. If anyone who hasn't released his podcast, so it's a couple of hours old. So it's not like I'm leaving his thunder, but I know X anyway. I'm not like that. Apparently, 2 sources who were talking to Di Canio in the VIP thing. Apparently, he's been offered a 2-day-a-week job role as a striker coach at the club by David Moyes.
Cool.
Has he really?
Wow.
No, apparently. So this is not exclusive. This is what 2 people have told him. So don't quote me and say that I've said it as well.
Wow. No. So the rumours, let's say it's the rumour mill that he's abound with that information. Well, I'll tell you what. I was there Friday night.
Yeah.
And Paolo was very, very complimentary of David Moyes. He was very, I think the first thing he said about David Moyes was how passionate David Moyes seems to be. How the word I'm looking for? How passionate, how determined he is to continue what we've got right now. And yeah, like Joe says down here, it wouldn't surprise. So Joe's on. She's just said it wouldn't surprise me after his comments Friday, just the way Paolo was. Even Paolo said that when Moyes first met him, he actually offered him a job on the playing staff. He actually says, "You look like you could still play. Would you be ready for Saturday?" So, tongue in cheek, obviously, but that really wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, bloody hell, Andy, I'm going to look into that a little bit more. I feel.
I might as well, because we're talking about it. 5 minutes ago, I just got a notification from X, from the Patreon, that he has signed the deal. It's done, Antonio.
Oh, wow.
Antonio has signed the deal.
Yeah, which takes him now to the summer of 2025.
Okay, there we go then. So
that's an exclusive for you guys. Shush.
So let's go. Sharky says Moyes does really rate him, so I'm not really surprised. And Wolf says, for me, it's too early to extend his contract. See how the rest of the season goes. We need the sellings and bring in someone with pace to start over Antonio next summer. Yeah, I agree. But obviously that deal has now been done. Steve, how you feel about that?
Yeah, fine. But he can't be the main man, really, for me, much past Christmas. We've got to have someone else in.
Someone has to come in, yeah.
Yeah. We nearly got this Brazilian lad who I think would have been decent. Maybe that's on the back burner for January. The whole point is, how much money have we got left? We've spent a hell of a lot. So, I'm just going to wait and see. Man, Antonio at his best is unplayable. But you only get the unplayable Antonio 50% of the time now because he's getting older.
Yeah.
But I'll still take it, actually. I will still take it. Yeah.
I think Ekatike's done. I reckon we just couldn't agree it in time.
Yeah, I reckon that would have been my go-to for the summer, yeah.
But I could see him coming in the first week of January, just get it done, not official. Obviously not being accused of tapping up, etc. But surprise, like when the Danny Ings one went from Southampton to Villa, just announce it on the 1st of January. Boom, we've got our striker done.
That's it. Yeah, I'd like to think we could do that. I mean, I'd be over the moon with that. That would be a fantastic. I think the money's there for it, even if it's not done already. I think the money's there for it.
And can I also say something? I mean, I was heavily critical of David Moyes last season, but he's built a decent team there. He's built a competitive team. When I watch them go out, I think, we can give anyone a game, as we proved on Saturday. Might not always win, but you don't expect to. But he's done a damn good job building that team. I mean, Alvarez, I think, is an upgrade. Now, we would have expected that.
Well, you say that. I mean, I've said it numerous times now. I think we look more balanced, don't we?
Yeah.
With Ward-Prowse, Alvarez, Paqueta. I'm not quite sure.
I reckon Ward-Prowse will have the armband on Thursday. I wouldn't play Zuma. I reckon it'll be like Kera and Oggy, to be honest. So I reckon Ward-Prowse will probably be captain.
Mavropanos.
Yeah, I was going to say Dinos and Kera, I think you might see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he can play right. One of them can play right back as well, can't they?
Yeah. So I think what you might see there is when the subs are made, one of them will shift over to right back. The other bit of news I've got sitting here a couple of hours ago now, so I don't know whether Andy's got anything to tell us. We are keen to complete a new deal for Jarrod Bowen, and we're hopeful that he wants to sign. I think that's got to be a definite. We've got to get that deal done, Andy, isn't it? It's got to be.
Yeah.
That's got to be priority number one.
Yeah, so this was 2 hours old from X's podcast as well. Like with that, he said he wants to be one of the highest or the highest earner at the club for him to sign, and it's getting closer and closer. So for me, I think they've heard about six-year deal. I think they're offering him. I think.
Blimey, that'd take him to early 30s, wouldn't it?
But just get it done, or give him a quid extra more than whatever the top earners on, and get it
Which
done.
is Zuma.
Get it done.
I thought it was Ings. I thought Ings was our highest player.
I might be, yeah. I thought Ings and Zuma were about the same.
Get it done.
120.
Just offer him £5 more, 500 quid more. Don't care. Just get it done. It needs to be done. This is one of the ones. He's key. He is key. No, don't get me wrong. I've looked at the way that Steiden's invested the Declan Rice money, and am I worried that if we'd lost Paqueta, we wouldn't have been able to invest that properly? No, I think Steiden would have done well. Same with Bowen.
Yeah.
If Bowen goes, I'm not saying that I want him to, but I'm also confident that we get good money for him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We get
Yeah,
a
definitely.
decent replacement. I'm whereas I used to be concerned, I don't think I am anymore.
No, I was very concerned when Deck left. What we bought in was brilliant. What can you say?
What we got down here? So Sharky says Di Canio coming back, and Billy Bob asks a question: will Di Canio part of that dullard? That is Moyes. Yeah, I just see that's.
But yeah, old 41's come out and said you get this very dour public face, but behind scenes, he's an absolutely lovely bloke, and he's credited Moyes with being where he is in his career.
But talking about Di Canio, do you remember when we got Teddy Sheringham in for a couple of days a week when flipping Carlton Carl and turned it into that was it under Zoda, I think?
It was.
So if we get a striker who actually knows how to finish, you never know. Like even Antonio might do his runs different. Like I don't think we've got anyone apart from Nolan helping us on set pieces. We've not got any other way. It's just
an out striking coach.
Yeah.
On that,
and let's face it, boy, could he finish. You know, boy, did he score some goals.
Well, I mean, Andy, you brought me up there. When Carlton Cole went on that run, he became one of the best strikers in the Premier League at that point. He's consecutive goals scored and everything else he was doing was outstanding. Put him right on the cusp of.
No, he got an England call up.
He did, didn't he?
He did. He played.
Then they were just talking about obviously Mabama needs to play more. Agreed. Wolf has asked about, as mentioned, about Antonio's money. He says he don't mean to be negative, but we'll see a decline now that he has his future safe. Yeah, and then he says that Ings gets 125. So pay 125,000 and £1. Wolf,
exactly.
That's what I do. It's top. There's your top earner, mate. Away you go. Sharky says, gone quiet with regards to Lingard. Andy, 2 hours ago, what did X say?
He said, at the end of the day, I understand the club's point of view. He's still not 100% fit. Why should we be paying him when he's not 100% fit?
Yeah.
As soon as he's fit, they still expect him to sign. So, but I think he's got until actually like the middle of October, and then there's a cut-off point till January, I think.
Yeah.
To do it to get him done. So yeah, I think that will be the fact that we only put 24 players in our squad means it's just a matter of time, and it's just a bit frustrating from the fact that he can't play European because he would have been a good player to come off the bench. Obviously, we can add him for the second half if we get through.
Yeah,
I tell you what, I think Lingard's a quality player. If he'd come on against City, he at his best he would have made a difference. So, you know,
needs to be his best though, doesn't he, Steve? That's I think that's the key there.
Yeah, true.
And then Wolf says, "Yeah, I don't think we need him unless we get an injury." To be honest, talking about obviously about Lingard. I mean, I'd love to see him come in. I still think he's got plenty to offer. What's this from WH2? We have to remember many of our players are making their home debuts against City. And considering where we were playing the best team in the world, I'd be encouraged by our new players. You know what? And that's it. I mean, listen, we've had what we had out of Ward Prowse. We've had four starts, 4 games, and 4 goal contributions, if my memory serves.
3 assists, 2 goals.
Yeah,
Oh,
every game it's an assist or a goal since he's joined.
And there were people out there that were saying we didn't want him, get rid of him, don't bring him in, rada. I just think that we're proving the point.
I've got to say, I've never been proved so wrong on a player. What a signing! What a signing! He's superb. But I wasn't sure because of his age. Forget that. Bloke's brilliant.
I think he has a desire to work and be better, not just for himself, but for his teammates as well. So it certainly, I think that makes a big difference.
Indeed.
All right, I'm conscious you boys need to go do what you boys need to do, and we're bordering on 7. So we'll wrap it up there. Andy, any last words you want to bring in?
Yeah, 2 seconds. It's just loading. For anyone who's interested, Duke was obviously at the E13. I was at the one before when I took what's his name out in the 8s. I can't remember his name now.
Robson.
Yeah, Robson out in Yates's.
Robson, yeah.
So that's my target. Every time I go there, I have to take a player out after, and we've done it every time so far, including Jimmy Walker. So that's been fun. But for anyone who isn't, tickets will go instantly because everyone who goes to the event before gets priority. So I've already got tickets. So yeah, celebrating Tony Carr. And from my understanding, the likes of Joe Cole, Anton Ferdinand, I think Zavon Hines, and even some from the 80s have already been confirmed. So you're going to have a mixture of players there. So if you haven't and you're around the area, the Romford area, give Ian a message and you'll get your ticket. So I just thought I'll give him a plug.
I mean, I've had the privilege of talking to Tony over on the other channel. I do believe Rob conducted that interview. Tony is a fantastic, such a nice guy. So I'm definitely going to be buying my ticket. In fact, I might do it as soon as I've come offline here.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm actually tempted.
Really, I'm genuinely nice guy. The events that Ian put on are absolutely tremendous. I mean, the Decanio one that he put on the other night was fantastic. Sorry, Wolf, just while we're here, Wolf's asked if we can do a watch along for the Topola game. Unfortunately, I'll be going. I don't know whether the other boys have got any plans.
Yeah, I can't Thursday. Those are so I'm trying to get the lad off to uni. So
getting him to uni, and Andy, you're going to be there as well, are you?
Yeah.
Did you say? Yeah. So we won't be we won't be able to do a watch along.
I'll tell you what I'll do for an away game. What I don't go, I will do a watch along Monday.
We'll do one, yeah.
I'll tell you what, if you do that, Andy, I'll hop on as well. Then.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll put something out of the bag going forward. That sounds like a plan. Budgie, good evening, sir. You've just rocked up as we're about to call it a day. And Diane says she's a Spurs fan. Just wait for a couple of weeks. We'll turn you over. Don't worry about it. But yeah, that Tony Carr one, I'll drop a message to someone and see if they're going as well. See if we can get some names for you. So yeah, if you're about. And then we'll be back, or you'll see a video go up at some point for the review or the preview for the Topola game on Thursday. You go away. I'm on channel.
Are you?
Yes, I'm live.
Oh.
Hello,
everybody.
Hi, mate.
Right, can you shut off now?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, so we're going to call it a day there.
I will be back with some breakfast shows. I do apologise because of the international break. There wasn't really much to talk about, and I needed the rest, to be honest, because it's been a bit full on, hasn't it? Like the start of the season with it. So
yeah, it's been fun though, hasn't it? Let's be honest.
No, exactly. So I will be back with some breakfast shows. Look out as well on our Twitter. Obviously, I've been putting some stuff up like favourite goals and memories to some votes and stuff just to get throwback highlights and stuff of goals like when we played Man City. So I'm going to do some for when we played Liverpool. I remember obviously the 3-0. I'll probably put that highlights up. I think we got a 1-1 draw under Harry Redknapp as well, so that'll be a throwback. Do you remember that from the? So even stuff like that, just to get people interacted as well. So
Get them
look out for
going.
that.
Yeah, it'd be great. Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I'm going to sit down and speak with the boys in the coming weeks. I've picked up a couple of prizes for a subscribers competition that we're going to run.
All right.
So quite a bit. I'm going to run it across both channels. So if you're not subscribed to one or the other, make sure that you do, because I have a couple of signed. I've got a couple of signed pictures that I've picked up that I'm going to give away as prizes in a subscriber only competition. So keep your eye out for that. I've got 2, so we'll run 2 different competitions, 2 different times. Might try and pick up some other bits and pieces, but keep your eye out for that. Steve, anything from you?
No, apart from the fact I've got to go because my doorbell's just gone.
Your doorbell
okay.
just went.
I'll catch up with you soon, guys. Okay.
Will
See you
do.
later.
Cheers.
Take care, Andy. We'll see you soon as well. Yeah.
Yeah, what's today? Maybe Wednesday actually. I'll do the breakfast show Wednesday. Just
All right, my man. No worries.
So look out for that, everyone.
Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, leave your comments underneath these videos. I know we're across both channels. So if you haven't, like I say, if you haven't done so, jump between the 2 and subscribe to the channels. Make sure you like them and keep an eye out for that, for those competitions that are going to be coming up. And we'll see you all again soon. Andy, thank you very much, my man.
No worries. Take care. See you later, everyone.
Take care all, and we'll see you soon.